Welcome to Hobbs Online Learning Academy, otherwise known as HOLA. Just wanted to give you a brief overview of our new program that we'll be using this year to help support you as the teacher/facilitator or family learning guide for your student. And so just being sure that we are very transparent and clear at the beginning of what HOLA is and what HOLA is not. The objectives for today: by the end of this orientation, you will be able to know the roles and responsibilities of Family Learning Guide participants. You will understand what Calvert Learning Curriculum is, what Family Learning Guide will understand their role in the student's learning process and how it connects to Calvert Learning. You also learn how and where to log in, navigate the platform, and to feel comfortable assisting your students. A Family Learning Guide will know where to turn for digital resources. It will also learn how Calvert connects to the Hobbs Municipal Schools policies and procedures. We're going to talk about what Calvert is, important terminology, what is the PLUS framework, the role of the Family Learning Guide and the connection between the teacher facilitator and Family Learning Guide. We're going to show you where to get logged in, show you where some resources are, and how does that blend with Hobbs Schools policies. First of all, what is Calvert? Calvert is a learner-centered digital curriculum tool guided by teachers/facilitators to support the families. If you click on this page, it'll take you to some digital resources. There's a lot of videos down here that will help support you in making Calvert successful for you and your student. Calvert is project-based digital curriculum for K through 5. We have English language arts, math, science, social studies. We have electives that are available for physical education, health, and art. Your kindergarten first graders will take physical education and health. Your second, third, fourth, and fifth graders will take physical education and art. Calvert Learning is used to develop critical thinking skills through high-quality project-based curriculum. It's used to engage students in digital experience, promote lifelong skills including creative problem-solving, independent thinking, and application of knowledge in real-world situations. It is designed to improve learning and retention with research-based curriculum and cohesive, intuitive framework. Here's some important terminology. Calvert Learning, which is your actual curriculum, your Family Learning Guide and teaching notes. This is very important because you, the adult, are the Family Learning Guide, and we'll have teaching notes to help you support the at-home teaching. PLUS framework is project-based learning, active learning, use for mastery, and show elements. Those are just acronyms for items that are embedded within the curriculum. Project-based learning is teaching method where students learn by actively engaging in real-world and meaningful projects. And your Genius is the student information system and their login information. And your CTN is a Calvert Teaching Navigator. Your PLUS framework, just like what we talked, is a framework designed to start with a project and by the end students show what they know. Here's a short video.
Calvert's PLUS framework is evident in all of our courses, but especially in the four core subject areas of English language arts, math, science, and social studies. We use this framework to guide your learning and to provide an effective way to organize different tasks within your courses. The acronym PLUS stands for Project, Learn, Use, Show. Our curriculum is infused with exciting projects that give you a purpose for learning. As you acquire new skills, you'll put these skills to work in your projects. The L stands for Learn. Learn lessons are where you will focus on individual lesson content and skills. Within the Learn lesson component, you'll do things like read from your e-texts, complete interactive activities, play games, watch videos, do simulated labs, and practice skills. Our U stands for Use for Mastery. These are assessments that give you the chance to demonstrate how you've mastered the skills and concepts you've learned from your daily work. You'll want to give yourself plenty of time to complete your Use for Mastery assessments and pay close attention to the guidelines provided before submitting your responses. You can type your answers to these assignments or handwrite them and upload them for grading. Finally, S represents Show. Show activities give you the chance to work on your projects and share what you're learning with your at-home learning guide, your teacher, or other students in your class. Students working in this unit will complete several Learn lesson parts before coming to the first Use for Mastery assignment. There are also Show lesson parts built into this unit as well, so that there is time to work on your project and share your progress with others. As you work through your courses, you will continuously cycle through the PLUS framework.
So that quick video just gives you a broad overview of the PLUS system.
Calvert's PLUS framework.
Our projects have many components. They have videos that help introduce the project. They even have a rubric that helps you know how many points you get for what or the items that you turn in and how you turn them in within. So this particular project is worth 20 points. You get 4 points if you show the introduction, names the topic, and clearly state the opinion. You get 3 points if you name the topic and state the opinion. The Learn portion contains a variety of activities that are active learning opportunities. They include interactive digital activities designed to encourage you to think independently and quick notes to assess students' understanding. Learn is where students are taught the concepts and skills they need to know to be successful. Calvert curriculum features a broad range of media with exercises, games, recaps, and assignments delivered with video, audio, and interactivity. The content leverages the highest rated resources and digital tools to support instruction, engage and motivate students to progress towards and achieve subject mastery. The Use for Mastery are formative assessments which students demonstrate deep knowledge and skills developed in the lesson. Students demonstrate a deeper level of knowledge. These tests are approximately every 3 to 5 lesson parts or days. Most tests are open-ended. That means it's not a multiple choice. They have to actually write or type something. They're worth 10 points. Students can upload files and save to their computers. Assessments come in different forms. Some are for final grades. Some may be checking for understanding, and some will be to rate or self-assess their readiness and excitement for learning the upcoming unit. You will see additional types of assessments as you proceed through the curriculum. They will also tell you how many points they're worth. Some may be 20, 10, 3, or 0, or anything in between. In a show, students build parts of their project or begin to put the pieces together. From one of the pictures in the projects, there was a woman meteorologist. The project at the beginning of the unit described the role of the meteorologist and all of the predictions needed to be made. Just a glimpse into the career. There is a discovery video for them to watch, and then an entire unit for additional learning opportunities. Now it's time to show. There is a learning guide for parents as well. We offer creative and exciting opportunities for you to show what you learned. You can submit audio, images, and videos from your computer or mobile device for a teacher to evaluate. Each show asks students to use and extend the skills they learned in recent lessons. Shows are also an opportunity for students to use the rubric and reflect their work. One thing to note, when you're logged in as the teacher or the learning mastery person, you will see these teaching notes. These teaching notes are very, very important to help you guide your students. Our course structure. Calvert learning courses are built very much the same. There are assessments throughout the coursework. At the point values are noted with the rubrics. Then you will have a Getting Started section, which will cover the overview of the course. By opening the unit, you will see the following. Within each unit, you will find Getting Started section. What is required. Secondly, you will then be able to see the units and which the PLUS framework items are included in the day's lesson. What is the role of the Family Learning Guide? So the Calvert curriculum is designed to manage daily activities of young learners in a digital learning system. Because elementary learners are not as independent as secondary learners, it's critical that they have a family learning guide, i.e. your parent or guardian, which would be you, the adult. Someone in the home who can help them understand the daily lessons and navigate the Capital Digital at home. Our teachers at Hobbs Municipal Schools will not be managing that for you. This is the role of the Family Learning Guide. So the student, let's just imagine they were on a train. The student's a passenger who needs to get to the right learning destination. The teacher/facilitator is the engineer who determines the destination for the student, the speed at which they travel, and the route which they take. The Family Learning Guide is the conductor to the train car with the passenger, who can best attend to the immediate needs, such as checking tickets and getting off and on at the right stops. This analogy illustrates that the curriculum, instruction, and decisions are responsibility of the Family Learning Guide, who is there to help support the student to get to where they need to be. Here's a chart that helps define some roles. Your Hobbs Municipal Schools Facilitator will monitor students' work and their progress of their grades. They'll monitor project completion and assessments. The teacher is going to grade and provide feedback. They'll introduce projects and use for mastery rubrics. That's within the Calvert system. The student will review their dashboard for grades, progress, and teacher feedback, discuss project plans with the teacher and Family Learning Guide, and understand the rubrics. Family Learning Guide is going to communicate any concerns and student needs to the teacher. They're going to review projects used for mastery rubrics, and they're going to communicate with the Hobbs Municipal Schools Facilitator to help support them as they move the students through the curriculum. How and where to log in. You're going to go to the website edm.geniussis.com. Your username and password will be your information from Hobbs Schools. It's very helpful that you bookmark this page so that you can get back to it, because you're going to be needing to get there daily. I'm going to skip back just one slide to help. Here, you don't see it on the screen, but another role of the Hobbs Municipal Schools Facilitator is to monitor attendance and login time. Teachers also going to clarify daily expectations, And the Family Learning Guide is going to really, really assist in K through first with read-alouds, directions, and assessments. Let's jump back here. So your Learning Guide dashboard. So you as the Learning Guide, the adult, will have your own dashboard. You'll know that you're logged in as you because it'll show at the very top. Okay. You'll be able to see which courses students have been assigned to. And then when you launch is when you want to start the course. When you click the launch at the bottom of the screen, you'll then be taken to the Calvert Teaching Navigator, which is really where Calvert Learning curriculum lives. Calvert Learning has an internal messaging system. Don't forget to check your messages. This is where you'll communicate with the teacher that grades your assignment, not the This will be, the teacher that grades the assignments will not be a Hobbs Schools teacher. They are an Edmonton teacher. So it's important that we understand where things are coming from. And your Hobbs facilitators will continue in the first few weeks to help you understand what that process looks like. Calvert Teaching Navigator, the CTN, is where the digital curriculum really resides. So within that, we want to be sure that up front you know the expectations for HOLA this year. These are approximate times. The Calvert curriculum covers 160 to 180 days. It's a full year. Each day your student will spend approximately 5 to 6 hours on the following. You have a 90-minute language arts, 45 minutes of math. Remember, these are approximate times depending on the individual lesson and how fast your student works. 45 minutes of science, 45 minutes of social studies, and 30 minutes per elective. So kinder and first will have health and PE. Second through fifth will have art and PE. We also recommend 20 to 30 minutes of daily independent reading or read-alouds, depending on the age of your child. This is really important. This is the time a student would spend during school on activities. So it does look a lot different from our HOLA program from last year, and the requirements are certainly much more rigorous. And so within the dashboard, students also will have a daily calendar or a daily schedule, which will help them stay on track. It's important. You don't want to get behind because you're going to be playing catch up. Remember, we talked about the teaching notes. Here's some teaching notes for you as a facilitator to be able to know how to help the student. There's some support videos, and it really does kind of tell you what to do as the teacher, the learning guide teacher notes. The toolbar, this will just help you understand what the various little pictures mean. So this puzzle piece means project. The objective means what are kids supposed to learn? Assignments, what materials and books do you need? What standards? Text to speech, that means sometimes we have lessons that can be read to students. And if you can print something out. Some resources. Here are some digital resources. We will send you the PowerPoint, and you can click on these. These actually have some really good resources for you. So also here is a list of materials you may need to do some of the projects at home. And here's some very, very important numbers. If you need help in the system, you can always call Edmonton, who is the owners of Calvert Learning, and they can help you with various items. There's an email, there's a phone number. So who do we contact for questions and support? So your Hobbs Municipal Schools facilitator, if you had specific information or questions about Hobbs Municipal Schools, the calendar, dates, absences. The teacher from Calvert instructional support, lessons, assessments, or projects. When you're having internet issues or device problems, you call Hobbs Municipal Schools Facilitator, or you email them. And you can email them within the system. If you're having problems with Calvert Learning, the website or the program, you contact Calvert. Login problems, your username or password, you contact your facilitator. Here is a getting started video. We're going to play this video.
Getting started as a Calvert Family Learning Guide. Calvert Digital is a core curriculum program for students in grades K-8, powered by our Calvert Learning technology. The Calvert curriculum is a resource for teachers to deliver instruction virtually or in a blended setting. Calvert Digital is not a teacher. It is actually a teaching tool that is best put to use by credentialed teachers and schools, with support from families. We call the family members supporting students at home a Family Learning Guide. Together, educators and family learning guides support students throughout their Calvert journey. You might imagine Calvert Digital as a journey on a train. The student is the passenger who needs to get to the right learning destination. Students complete assignments and do their best work. They also ask for help when needed. The Family Learning Guide is the conductor in the train car with the passenger who can best attend to immediate needs, such as checking tickets and making sure passengers get off at the right stop. Family Learning Guides monitor student progress and help navigate the course. The teacher is the engineer who determines the destination for the student, the speed at which they travel, and the route they will take. The teacher is responsible for instruction and related decisions, while the Family Learning Guide supports the student in progressing through the course. Calvert Digital is proud to offer an engaging learning experience for students. We partner with teachers and family learning guides to support the success of all students. Family learning guides are an important part of the Calvert digital curriculum. You have a daily window into your students' learning and serve as their advocate. Each day, you tend to your child's needs like a conductor on the train, helping them along on their learning journey. You do this by monitoring your students' progress through the course, discussing their learning with them, and helping them communicate with their teacher. Your first step as a family learning guide is to make sure students have the time and the right environment for completing their lessons successfully. A good home learning environment is free from distraction and is a place in which it's easy for you to keep an eye on them, especially if they are in the primary grades. It's also important to provide regular learning and movement breaks, such as a snack or a walk around the block. It is important for your student to have a daily schedule, including breaks and lunch. You can expect math, science, and social studies lessons to take about 30 minutes a day in grades K-2 and 45 minutes a day in grades 3 to 5. English language arts lessons take about 90 minutes. English language arts lessons take more time in Calvert Digital just the way they do in school because they combine reading, writing, and foundational skills in one class. In addition, we encourage you to read aloud to younger students and ensure that older students read independently for about 20 to 30 minutes each day. Elementary English language arts skills are an important foundation for your students' lifelong learning success. A good habit is to review your students' daily schedule each morning. The daily schedule allows you to view all of your students' courses and the lessons they have completed. This tool helps you know that your student is completing the right amount of work each day. Look for areas where your student may need to catch up a little, or for adjustments that your teacher may have made to assignments. On your student's dashboard, you can see your students' graded work and feedback from the teacher. You can use the Performance tab to talk with your students about their grades and teacher feedback. Your teacher provides feedback and helps your student know how to grow in their learning. If you have questions about grades or feedback, your teacher will be happy to help. The Progress and Attendance tabs also help you monitor whether your student is logging in as expected and completing their work on time. When using the dashboard, you might see some information in red. That means that something needs your student's attention. Your teacher can help you understand what to do to get your student back on track. Family learning guides are supported in discussing Calvert learning activities with their students. One of the most fun ways to do this is by discussing projects. Projects in Calvert Digital are introduced at the beginning of the unit, and your student creates their project as they move through the lessons. Your teacher will introduce projects and help students complete them. They should also discuss the project rubric, which sets project expectations. Family learning guides should be familiar with their students' projects and engage in fun opportunities to talk about the students' ideas and project progress. Family learning guides should also review the project rubric to help their student understand how to complete their best work and meet the teacher's expectations. At the end of each lesson, students will complete a Use for Mastery assignment. Use for Mastery assignments have rubrics that outline assignment expectations. By reviewing rubrics and discussing high-quality work with students, family learning guides can help their student be successful. Now let's talk about the ways that family learning guides help their students in Calvert Digital on an everyday basis. Family learning guides help their students navigate to lessons. One easy way to find lessons is to go to the daily schedule and click on the lesson for the day. The link takes you right to the lesson you need. You are able to navigate directly to the lesson's e-texts, workbooks, supplements, and activities directly from your students' lessons. This is just like helping your student with any online program to make sure they get to the right place. You might think of this as helping your student organize their folders and papers for school. For younger learners, family learning guides might also help students navigate the curriculum by reading directions in the daily lessons aloud, or by helping students submit assignment and assessments. Remember that the e-texts and the Calvert curriculum have a read aloud feature to support your student, so be sure to look for that. You can start each day off on the right foot by scanning your student's lesson of the day, including teaching notes. Teaching notes help family learning guides know if students have provided the correct answers, or may suggest a tip you can provide to nudge your student toward a correct answer. Teaching notes contain helpful tips and answer keys to help your student if they get stuck. If you are going to help your student at home, hold off, just a little, before solving a learning problem. In education, we know that letting kids think through problems on their own and gain confidence in their own ability to find solutions is an important part of growing as a learner. Try repeating some good basic habits to your child, such as rereading instruction, trying some practice problems, or reaching out to a friend. If your student continues to struggle, your teacher should make decisions about how to best help your student grasp concepts if a problem persists. If your student is struggling with a concept, or might need a different way to learn something, reach out to your teacher. Your student's teacher is here to help, and needs to know what your student knows and is still struggling to understand. This information helps the teacher tailor instruction to meet your student's needs on their Calvert journey. Most importantly, the Family Learning Guide is the student's advocate. They help form the relationships with the teacher and school to support their student. Family learning guides help the teacher understand when instruction is difficult for your student to master or too easy. Your teacher needs a window into your student's learning, just as if the student were in school. In summary, the Family Learning Guide is like the conductor on a train, helping the student to be successful. This role is in many ways similar to what you do as a family member when your student is attending in-person learning in a school building. Family learning guides monitor a student's progress in both completion and grades. They engage in conversations with students about projects and assignments. They also help them use rubrics and other tools to do their best work. Families also talk to their student about what they're learning and help their student navigate software while at home. They also read aloud to their students when they're young. And like all good guardians, they are an advocate that makes sure their student has the very best opportunity to learn, as well as a strong relationship with the teacher and the school.
So now you've had a brief overview of the Calvert Learning System. What you're going to find, they're going to find a few differences in what Calvert sometimes says in videos and the model that Hobbs Schools uses. So what we want to do now is kind of walk you through how does Calvert connect to Hobbs Municipal Schools policies. So first, I want to just congratulate you on your child being able to qualify to attend HOLA this year. We had some strict guidelines of which students best fit this model, and you as a parent have chosen this model for your student. But we want to be clear and upfront about the expectation, because we know through the pandemic things have changed and the expectation of HOLA is different. And so we want to ensure that your child is successful. If any time you feel your child is not being successful, you have the opportunity to return to in-person learning. What you need to know is that once you return to in-person learning, you will not be able to return to HOLA that school year. It is extremely difficult for teachers and students to be switching back and forth to different models. And we found that out through the pandemic. If after each 9 weeks grading period, your child is not passing or keeping up with the daily lessons, it can be recommended that they return to face-to-face instruction as well. We just want you to know that our goal is to ensure that students are maintaining adequate learning trajectory and continuing to thrive. So HOLA is a privilege, and students must keep pace and keep their grades, or they'll be asked to return to in-person learning. Your child is still a Hobbs Municipal Schools student, so they will stay within our system, within the Skyward system. They will become a student at Booker T. Washington campus. They no longer will be attached to Broadmoor, College Lane, unless they return to face-to-face instruction. Then they will go back to their home campus. The principal at Booker T. Washington is Robert Sims. Our facilitators this year, it's important to know that they are not doing direct teaching. They are not doing direct Zooms. They will hold office hours from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's when they'll return messages within the 24 hours of receiving them. They also have other duties within the district, so they are facilitating the Calvert system. For your kindergartners and first graders, we have Kathy Robinson, and her email is listed. For second and third graders, Jody Cunningham. And for fourth and fifth is Sylvia Cantu. Daily attendance and login is required through Calvert. Attendance will be recorded in Skyward. The day after the work should have been completed. Students are held to the New Mexico Attendance for Success Act. So if students are not logging their attendance, they will be counted absent and are subject to the Attendance for Success Act guidelines. And that, again, is one of the stipulations for qualifying for HOLA is that students attend daily. If a student doesn't log in and complete assignments during a 24-hour period, that student will be marked absent for that day, unless the student has worked ahead and is on pace. So if your student is way ahead and is on target, they will not be counted absent if you have to go somewhere or they don't log in that day. After 2 days of non-attendance, a Hobbs Municipal Facilitator will contact you. Please remember that the program logs activity learning hours, so we can see how long students spend within the system. Hobbs Municipal Schools teachers are facilitators. They do not provide instructional Zooms. Assignments within Calvert are graded by Calvert teachers, and grades are given within the program. Sometimes it may take up to 48 hours for grades to appear in the system. The Family Learning Guide, which is you, the guardian or parent, will be responsible for ensuring that students complete and submit their assignments. Hobbs Municipal Schools facilitators will utilize Calvert as the main source of communication. So there's a messaging system within Calvert. We expect that to be used. We may also supplement that with Class Dojo and Ruvna for district and school items. Our facilitators, again, will hold office hours from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. They will not be holding office hours in the evenings, at night. They will be working all day and will be answering those things the next day. During this time, they will answer messages from families. Please allow 24 hours for a response. So when we talk about grading, there are a few differences within Calvert. And so first thing is important to know, why do we grade? Grading is a way for us to show how much learning has taken place. During our 3-week and 6-week progress reporting periods, grades from Calvert are just going to be transferred straight to Skyward. So whatever grades in Calvert is going to go to that. At report card periods, the grades from Calvert's are just going to be, again, directly transferred into Skyward. The expectation is, with the exception, art, PE, science, and social studies. Within Calvert, those grades are number grades. In the Hobbs system, we provide S, I's, or U's for those subjects. So during grading periods, those grades are going to be converted using the following guidelines. If a student has 100 to a 70 within Calvert, they're going to get an S. A 69 to a 50, they're going to get an I. 49 to a 0, a U. The facilitator has the ultimate authority to adjust these grades as needed and when they are transferred to Skyward. Another important note is our kindergartners. In Hobbs Municipal Schools, they use a different grading system. And so they will receive a grade report directly from Calvert. It will not match what Hobbs Municipal Schools has. It's important that students complete all graded assignments independently. This will show how much students have learned. Teaching notes are provided to help you support your students' learning. Testing. Because your student still remains part of the Hobbs Municipal Schools, they are still bound by the state requirements for assessments or testing. So for students in K through 5, they'll take a monthly iStation reading and math ISIP, which is a short, probably 20-30 minute assessment. For state assessments for English Language Arts math for grades 3 through 5, they will be required to take those assessments, and 5th graders take a state science assessment. During some of these assessments, we will be asking that you bring your child in person, specifically those state assessments for 3rd through 5th graders. We have to monitor or proctor them in person. We'll provide a testing schedule at a later date when we get those dates solidified. Here's also something to remember, and we will work through this as we adjust and learn the Calvert system. Calvert Learning is digital. It operates separately from Hobbs Municipal Schools calendar. So the Hobbs Municipal Schools students actually attend 190 days. The Calvert curriculum is spread out for 180 days of that material that needs to be covered. There may be times that a student needs to complete assignments, even if it doesn't match the HMS calendar, such as Thanksgiving breaks, winter breaks, spring break. Hobbs Municipal Schools Facilitator will work with you during those extended holidays to adjust as needed. It will be the family's responsibility to pace assignments if you choose to go on vacation, students out sick, etc. Work with your teacher facilitator if you have extenuating circumstances. Each family has the ability to work ahead in the program, and daily attendance will not count during any HMS holidays. So if we're on spring break, we're not going to count the attendance for that student, but students still need to make sure that work is complete and caught up on the pacing and timelines. This is a new program, and we're going to work through it together and collaborate with you to ensure we provide the best opportunity for your students. Again, be patient with us as we're learning. We'll be patient with you as you are learning. But remember that Hobbs Municipal Schools has a higher expectation for HOLA this year because it is a choice and students are face-to-face. If you have any questions, please contact your Hobbs Municipal Schools facilitator. If you, at this time, decide you want to continue in HOLA, that is great. If you look at the information we provided today and said, I'm not sure HOLA is for me, please contact your school and have them registered for face-to-face learning. Have an amazing day.